Good morning, everyone. Thank y'all for tuning in this week. I'm gonna get that first sip in on morning sip with Mr. Wells. So I know we didn't do a video last week. That is only because I got extremely busy and I decided to take that day off and take some R&R for myself. So that's why I didn't do a broadcast last week. So I came to you guys this week just to do a short little uh, video with you all. Just tune in with you, check in with you, see how everyone is doing. Sorry, I definitely need my coffee today. I only had like maybe 3 hours of sleep, and I know some of you all can relate to that. The late nights, working long hours, seems to be a lot of us nowadays are actually experiencing that issue. The long hours, restless nights, and working and still can't afford to take care of your basic necessities. So it is kind of disheartening that, going forward, everyone's trying to chase that American dream, and it just seems like the dream is so far out of reach because the way everything is just escalating and continuously going up right now. But I digress. We will get through this, and this shall pass just like everything else does. But I come to you guys this morning, wishing you all the best, hoping that you get your day started off on a good foot, even if it didn't start out that way. Let's change the mindset and let's get that to develop to a more positive outlook, if possible. I know sometimes we may not be able to see the possibility of something being positive when you have so much negativity bombarding you. I definitely can attest to that. I've definitely been down that road, but I know changing your mindset would definitely help you out. It's definitely easier said than done. I definitely am not going to be one to say that you can do this without any struggles because it's definitely hard. But so I'm enjoying my coffee today. As you see, I'm not using my regular cup. I'm not sure exactly what happened to it. I don't know if one of my kids broke it and they haven't told me yet, or if it got thrown away by accident, or somebody walked about the house with it. So I'm using a plain, uneventful, uninspiring, just basic cup. But it still serves its purpose. But my one biggest tip for you guys who drink coffee, whether you're going into a cafe or you're making it at home, use a glass cup. Ceramic is best, but that's going to keep your coffee hot a lot longer. It's going to, give it that flavor impact that you want. It's not going to have that added flavor of the wax from those cups that we all love to use. Yeah, sorry, or that cardboard taste from other cups. So yeah, glass cup is the best way to go. Sometimes if you go to certain cafes, they will offer you a glass cup to use. Use it. It's beneficial to use it. And you definitely want to have your cup warm. If it's a real coffee shop, they definitely gonna have you a warm cup before they pour your coffee in it because can't pour hot coffee into a cold cup. That's bad. But like I said, I needed this coffee this morning. So I didn't get to put a lot of creamer in mine for this brand. This is off brand. This is not my brand. I ran out of my own brand. I'm actually brewing me something special. I was going to do a video, but it hasn't finished yet. So once it's finished, I'll do another video and let you guys see that blend. But it is the New Orleans Chicory Blend. That is one of my best-selling coffees right now. And hands down, it is becoming a favorite. Mr. Moore, I want to thank you because you have definitely been one of the biggest supporter of that blend. He has bought about 10 pounds of that coffee already. So, hey, kudos to you. Thank you so much for that purchase. So, if you don't know Mr. Moore, he was a vice president of mine for Wells Janitorial Services and one of Crack in the Cup's biggest supporters. So, I definitely want to pay tribute to those who are supporting us and those who are making everything happen, even during these times that we all see no light at the end of the tunnel for some situations. Sorry. So yeah, I drank some water too because you gotta have water too. Even though coffee is 99% water, you still just need some good old plain water in the in betweens. Don't do your body a disservice by not giving it any water. It needs it. So a lot of stuff has been going on, with the elections. A lot of stuff has been going on in our personal lives. A lot of stuff has just been going on in life in general across the diaspora. So, again, I want you guys to take some time for yourself. Self-help is very important right now, more than ever, because a lot of us are out here, on the edge. I've seen it, I've witnessed it firsthand, especially in the service industry. It's no big secret. I am the owner of Cracking the Cup Coffee and Tea, but I'm a small business owner. I've never false flagged anything. I still work for a company outside of Cracking the Cup. And for most of you all who know me, I do work for Wendy's. So again, it's the service industry, in particular the food service industry. And what I would say to those of you who are visiting these food establishments, go easy on your servers, and people who's providing services at these establishments. Even if you're having such an effed up day, don't make your effed up day someone else's problem. Try to have some type of common courtesy for these folks. Like these people that's in the food service industry or service industry, period. Customer service is not an easy industry to be in, but it is majority of the jobs that are out there. So we all need to appreciate and be a little bit more forthcoming to our service industry workers. They are working their tails off to supply us with a service, and they're not even getting a boost in pay for the most part for a lot of the companies that I do know and that I am aware of. So let's give them a break. Let's, be kind, say thank you, don't be a grumpy type of person when you're in their establishment and they're trying to provide you with excellent customer service and they're trying to give you a smile and they're trying to, make your day just that much better by giving you positive energy, smiles, and good vibrations. But you come in with a mean spirit, evil spirit, and you basically kill it. But a lot of them I've seen, they are working their tails off in there. And like, I want to definitely say, the people who I'm working with over here at Wendy's, my head goes off to them. If I had hair, it'd be as bald as this. So they bust their tails behind those counters. A lot of the stuff that you all don't get to see behind the scenes is something that I get to experience. And that's regardless what industry you're in customer service. Right now, they're getting beat up real bad. And if you work in food services or if you work in customer service, you know what I mean when I say they're getting beat up. So let's just be a little bit more kinder to those individuals because they are working their tail off just to make sure that we are eating and that we can provide them with the services that they're looking for. And not everything is going to be 100% perfect. And that is the one thing that I really don't like when it comes to customer service is the fact that people expect everything to be 100% of the time perfect. Perfection doesn't live here. We don't live in perfection. So how do you expect perfection from imperfection or imperfect beings? That's what I should say. So don't expect the perfection. But what you should expect is good customer service, quality product, and a friendly smile, with every greeting and every, dispart when you dispart their store or their establishment. I've seen it firsthand where some people have this such a high expectation or unrealistic expectation of what it is to be in the customer service industry. And the number one thing I really dislike when I hear in the customer service industry, and you've probably heard this too, is another person who works in the customer service industry. And then they go to tell you, I work in this industry, blah, 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 blah. So I know, blah, blah, blah. Cut it. First of all, you doing all that jaw japping All that time you talking, I could be fixing your order or making a correction to whatever it is that we made the mistake on. And again, just remember, these are human beings. They're not robots. Let's not treat them like they're robots. Let's treat them like they're humans. Like let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's give them the opportunity to fix mistakes. And that goes for any business that you guys choose to patronize. Give them the benefit of the doubt right now. Like it's a lot of stuff going on. It's a lot of adjustments that we're all going through. No one expected us to be living like this. No one even foresaw this, at least on our side. We didn't foresee this being our reality. So let's just do our best to, be human and be kind towards one another. One of the greatest things that is a problem right now is, of course, when you're going into these food establishments or these businesses, everybody know there is a mask policy in place. I know we have a lot of people who do not agree with wearing this mask. I am one of them. I do not agree with wearing these masks. But I'm not wearing this mask just for my own safety. I'm wearing it for the safety of anyone who I come into contact with. Because I don't know who's asymptomatic, who's carrying this virus, who's out there unmasked, breathing this air, and they right next to me. No, I don't believe that mask is going to do jack shit to prevent me from catching COVID, because I don't see how it would work. Because if it did work, we probably wouldn't have so many cases, even still to this day. But at the end of the day, if it's something that can minimize this risk or minimize and make this more minimalistic as we need it to be, so be it. Then I'm going to put that mask on. I'm going to wear that mask for myself and others around me. Because for me, I am considered a high risk because I am diabetic. I am an amputee, so it takes a lot longer for my body to heal versus someone else's who's in much more healthier shape than I am. One way, I've reduced how much cream I put in my coffee. I used to be able to drink coffee straight black, but I kind of got lax and got that little sweet tooth back. So I've been putting my little creamer in there. But my son, short story, he got a hold to my creamer because he was the one in that TikTok video with me. And I had made that smoothie. And he really enjoyed that smoothie. So while I was at work one day, he was trying to recreate it. Well, he took my creamer that I used in there and used probably more than what he should have, because when I go in to check in my creamer today, I had literally, I wouldn't even call it an ounce. Like it probably was less than an ounce of that creamer left. So I had to use that, but that's okay. Was I mad at my son? No. It's a kid. They make mistakes. And we got to also remember that as parents, that, kids will make mistakes. And that goes back to everything that I was saying about perfection. Stop expecting perfection. Like, there's certain things that we can do to have things be as perfect as possible. But when it comes to other humans, don't expect perfection from them. Because even you being as perfect as you think you are, you're not that perfect. And it's okay. It is okay to not feel that you have to be on this stage, on this platform, that you have to be perfect on every single thing that you do. You don't. And for my small business partners out there and, counterparts who are going out there grinding every day, and, we're so focused on the perfecting of our product, which is not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. You're always supposed to be improving yourself. However, don't let that drive of trying to make everything so perfect be the reason you fail to launch. It was something I seen on Facebook while one of my business associates here, and he was speaking on the fact that we'll start a business and we'll focus so much on trying to make everything so perfect. Time go past and we still haven't even launched it. A lot of us are talking about our businesses and talking about the great and wonderful things that are to come. However, we haven't even put ourselves out there to even generate a sale, generate the traction that we need to get the momentum going. So don't focus so hard and don't beat yourself up if everything isn't 100% perfect, because perfection comes with time and experience. So you will get there. So just give yourself that time, give yourself that, you know, ability to know that it's going to be okay. And it's okay if you don't have everything down pat right when you launch. If you look at any business that's out there right now, all of them started with a hope and a dream. They hope that they can get their business started, and the dream was they would come into reality and that they will, have a prosperous business. And for some of those, it worked out. Some others, it didn't work out. But even for the ones who it didn't work out for, they went back to the drawing board, figured out what went wrong with the first launch and the first attempt, and then they worked on that and they came back stronger than ever. And then, their business started being more profitable. And the funny thing is, if you look at a lot of businesses, like we expect things to happen so quickly now. Like everything is supposed to be so fast paced, like at the snap of your finger, $1 million in your bank account right away. It's not really the reality. So scratch that. Can it happen? No. I haven't yet seen one person really generate $1 million in a day off the first launch. Has people made $1 million in a day in sales? Yes, but it wasn't off their first launch. It took time. It took, making sure that they had everything launched right, but they actually launched the product. So sometimes when you launch your product, the generation of cash flow is not going to be there so instantaneously as you are thinking in your head. And also, one of the things that I would definitely urge you to really get good with is marketing and advertising. That is the part where that is not my strong suit. That is why I outsource those things to other companies to help me develop that, because that is not where I am. That's not one of my strengths. When you do your SWOT analysis, you have to be realistic with your SWOT analysis. What is your strengths? What is your opportunities for improvement? Uh, Areas that you can work on. It's so much stuff that comes in that SWOT analysis that you need to do, so that way you can do better when you're trying to launch these things. So, and if you take that SWOT analysis and take that into your personal life, you can actually figure out some things in your personal life too. It's not just meant for just business use only. You can use that in your personal life as well. A lot of the things that you're going to learn in business, you can incorporate that in your daily life, like budgeting, financial literacy, credit, understanding credit. Like a lot of the things that I've been learning over these last couple of years, especially when it comes to the credit side, is how important credit is when you're trying to run a business, but even in your everyday life, just as a normal human being, you need credit, and your credit worthiness needs to be at certain levels just in order to get someone to give you a bone. And that bone is going to come with a high interest rate if you got bad credit or if you have no credit. So, understanding credit is going to be something that's going to be crucial to you as you're developing yourself personally, as you're going out there getting your business started. So, you may want to take a look into that and really sit down with a credit counselor. If your credit isn't good, uh, reach out to those who can help you improve your credit. And now I'm not speaking about people who are doing a lot of those credit repair companies and they're guaranteeing you like in 30 days, your credit score is going to shoot up to 700. No, it ain't. And if anyone ever tells you that, thank them for their service and then, dismiss. Because at the end of the day, there's no way they can improve your credit score if you're rocking a 350 and you're going to be 750 in 3 months or 30 days or whatever it is. That's too short of a time frame. It didn't take you 3 months to get that 350 credit score. So just imagine how long it would take for you to get that 700. Now we all know things go down faster than they go up. Case in point, your check came in, it's 2,000. Your bills came in, what's left in your bank account, $20. So yes, them debts add up quicker than them positives. So until you learn how to leverage those things and make that positive switch, it's going to always be an uphill battle for us, especially those of us who are living, day to day, paycheck to paycheck type of situation. It's always a good time to learn something that's going to actually add some actual income to your thing. Sorry, to your thing, to your net worth. And this is another thing that I'm learning. You know, these multiple streams of income. You got to be careful with some of them though, because you know you're going to have a lot of people and a lot of opportunities that are coming, but not all opportunities are going to be something that's going to be best fitted for you. So you always got to make sure you're doing your due diligence. Like one thing that I really wish I would have jumped on was Bitcoin, but even when Bitcoin was introduced to me, it was already at like $1,000 per coin. So I'm like, I ain't got that kind of money. And of course, it was all these different companies and folks that were, oh, I can get you, you know, a millionaire in Bitcoin. Oh, I can get you $1 million crypto account. How? Because I mean, you ain't even got $1 million. So let's sip my water on that one. However, the great thing about this, though, it is a lot of people out there that really are into cryptocurrency that's actually helping people get established in that arena so you can get on the wave of, you know, these new currencies that are coming out. Some of them are really priced really low right now, so you can really bank up if you invest now. One of the things that I was informed when you're investing, invest in the long term, not the short term. So if you're looking for a short term boost, like really quick, you may not be a good person to be investing right now. And that's okay because you have to know what level you're at right now. If you know you can't wait 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 years for a certain stock to pop off, don't invest your money in it. But that's going to be your choice. There's things that I've invested in right now, like Thresher Water. I gotta check in on them, find out what's going on with that investment. Punch TV Studios, I've shared their content with you all. Bought my first 50 shares at $1 each. Now they're selling at $10 or $20 or something like that. I haven't checked it the latest, but the last time I checked it, it was $10.95 per share. So right there, I already increased my stock share with them when I bought in at $1. So I like getting in on the ground floor of things. And if you are in business or you are trying to diversify your income streams, pick up them consumer report books or magazines, get them business weeklies, get the Forbes magazine. You got to start aligning yourself and reading the correct material. One thing that you would know in business or in life, you got to read. Reading is so freaking fundamental. It's some things that you'll find out when you read something that you'll be like, where was this at? It was right there that whole time in your face, and you missed out on a lot of opportunities because you didn't want to read that book because it was too many pages, because it was too many paragraphs. Stop. Like, get up, read that book. We ain't the new millennials. We the old school millennials. We still know how to pick up a book and read. Everything ain't got to be 130 characters for us. And when you're in business, you want to read more than 130 characters. So get that book, read that magazine, check out the newspapers, because there's a lot of hidden opportunities that be right there in your face, and y'all don't even be realizing it. And it's a couple of things that when I got my nonprofit started, that I didn't realize how easy the process has gotten because they revamped some things and they edited some things, and now you can get a nonprofit started a lot quicker now than you could before. And a lot of this information is free. Like, I didn't pay anybody to start my nonprofit or get my nonprofit filed. Is there things that I probably have missed? Yes, but guess what you can do? You can call the IRS and they will actually assist you for free. Yeah, I didn't know that. You can call SCORES. You can call the SBA. They have guidelines that help you get things established, and those are free resources. Now, I'm not knocking anybody that charges to get businesses established. That's not what I'm doing here. But I am saying, if you take some time to read, you can get a lot of things done for yourself for free and probably at a way cheaper cost. When I got ready to incorporate Wells Janitorial, I was going to go through LegalZoom. LegalZoom was costing me upwards to $1,000 to get everything started. And most of that was just filing my articles of incorporations, applying, for my state permits and whatever, and registering my agent. So when I was talking to one of my business associates about it, he let me know, Jermaine, all you gotta do is go to the Illinois Secretary of State website. It's 175 to incorporate your company, and that's the same thing that they're gonna do. And when I went through the process of self figuring out, and I did it for myself, I saved myself a shitload of money because I'm like, wow, this was definitely cheaper. I did pay 175, and it was 175 plus I think $50 because I expedited it. So all in all, I paid 225 to incorporate my business and and you register your agent at the same time. So that was dope. Now you can get your LLCs done a lot quicker and a lot more affordable. So this is a great time for those of you all who are interested in business and want to get out there. Go out there, live your dream. Don't be afraid. I done started multiple businesses now, and I'll let you know my first business, I was 18 years old, and I actually can backpedal that because if I really look at it, when I was an adolescent, meaning preteen and teenager, me and my sister used to go around our neighborhood. If you're from Chicago, you're from Roseland, y'all know me. 150 Wentworth. We was out there raking up our seniors' yards, shoveling up snow. I didn't do the cutting the grass part. I don't know why I never did because we ain't had one. So, but I did rake leaves. I shoveled snow with me and my sister, and I used to have her tag along with me so we could make some money. And normally we'll charge like $5 or $10, and the residents will always give us extra money because they really enjoyed the work that we did, and they was really happy to see young folks out there doing something. And that was really special to me. Like that was my first step into the business world, and I didn't even realize I was entering into that arena. And I love that feeling of making my own money. No one's telling me what my worth is. I'm telling you what my value is. And it was $5, but that's what I valued it at. So I created what my worth would be. So that was a great feeling at 12, 13 to 14 years old, and you making your own little pocket change, and you got your little sister or your sibling out there helping you, and y'all doing it. So that was actually that would have been my first actual business venture, was just going around raking leaves, pulling weeds, shoveling snow. And it was just something very simple. A lot of us have this entrepreneurial spirit and, drive and determination, but sometimes we allow fear to hold us back. And I would tell you, however you possibly can, squash that fear. Like whatever you have to do to get over that fear and anxiety of, getting out there and exposing yourself, do it. Like I look at it like I'm exposed to the point where I'm just butthole naked, and everyone's going to see every flaw of my body, and I'm embarrassed and I'm shocked. I'm going to go into fear. I'm going to put a burlap sack on, and scratch that. Even if you are out there butt naked and everybody sees all your flaws, walk out there and strut with pride. Like get out there and go do you. Because at the end of the day, when you figure out how to get over that hump and you not let that fear hold you back, things are going to open up and them threads are going to start, coming together. And you're going to have yourself in such a much better position. And I'm telling you, because when I started my first official business, again, I was 18, or actually I was 17. It was right before my 18th birthday. I lived in Las Vegas. And for those, y'all know I lived in Vegas for a brief moment. And I hired a few of my friends once my business started taking off. But my first business was called LV Weed Cutting Service. Don't believe me? Google it. I didn't know my website was still up. Cheesiest website ever. I think I did it with you. If those of you remember the Yahoo business page where you can make a business page for free. Yeah, with those poor graphics and everything. Yeah, that was my first business venture that I did, but I did it on my own. I did it myself. And, that was my first leap of trying to go out there and do something. So the story with LV Weed Cutting Service, the good and the bad, is I got it started. I was pulling weeds in my auntie house out in Vegas because anybody who lives in a community where they have an HOA and they have fees and they charge you for weeds and all kind of stuff growing out on your house, and you got dirty lawn, y'all get charged for that. So for me, That was an opportunity that I didn't even realize, and it just came by chance. My auntie's neighbor saw me pulling her weeds up, and I got it done so fast. And she had them growing at her property, so she came over there and asked me, "Do I do this as a business? Because she could use her yard done too." And when I thought about it, I was like, "Why not?" So I said, "Yeah, I could book your yard." I said, "It'll be $20." Yeah, I started off with $20. And that is nothing when you're outside in 115-degree weather and you pulling weeds. And me not thinking at the time, because first business venture, I wanted to just do it. I just went out there, not paying attention that it's 100+ degrees out there in Vegas and it's a dry heat. And I'm pulling weeds, but I'm getting it done. I'm pulling, and that heat was my motivator because I wanted to get out of that damn heat as fast as I can and get that $20 so I can get the hell on. So I did that. And then after that, everything was slow. But I started making flyers, little cheesy flyers off my auntie's computer, and I started posting it up in her neighborhood, only her neighborhood. Now, from the time I was posting those up, the lady who approached me, she had referred me to one of her friends. I went and got that job booking, and then her friend referred me to some people. And then next thing you know, I'm getting business from areas that I hadn't even touched. Areas in Vegas I didn't even know existed. Like South Holland, I didn't know that that was a place. And I didn't know that they had bank over there. My first big break was when the lady from South Holland in Las Vegas called my phone and wanted to book me. And she gave me my first lesson about, the actual value of things when you're pricing yourself. Don't price yourself so low that it's just, you're not doing anything, you're not making no profit. But you won't know this until you actually start doing business and you see the expenses. But excuse me, she let me know I'm not charging enough for my service. Because at that time when I'm booking her, I'm saying, "Oh yeah, it's $50. I'll come out there, boom, 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 done." So she's like, $50. She said, "Son, do you know we have an HOA fee over here for every section of our yard that has weeds growing? That's a $500 fine." I said, "Dang, I'm in the wrong business. I need to have an HOA." So she told me and she advised me that, you should be booking your prices according to those fees. So she said, "Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pay you $200 to come out here and do my yard." And this time I'm 18. I'm excited. I'm happy because I'm like, okay, my first big booking. And they paying me $150 more than what I was charging. So of course I'm like, okay, sign me up. And I'm ecstatic. I'm happy. The only downside that happened to me on this day when I had that first opportunity come my way, the failure of this one, of LV Weekend Services, was I went to my auntie house to go see my grandpa at the time, who was living with her. I put my keys down in the garage, and that was my first mistake. Never leave your keys laying down anywhere. And my auntie's, what would he be? Her nephew-in-law wanted to use my car. He asked me if he could use my car. I told him no because I still was working at the New York at the time too. So I told him no because I got to go to work soon. But not me not realizing I left my keys in that garage unattended, and I went into the house to go ask my auntie something. And as I'm talking to my auntie, I'm realizing, oh crap, I left my keys in the garage. So I go downstairs in the garage to go grab my keys, and my car is gone. And I'm just like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. So I asked my grandfather what happened to my car. He said, "Oh, well, Daryl said you said he could use the car." I said, "Oh, Lord." Now, the history behind him, I'm not going to say too much because family is on here, but he was an alcoholic, and that's why I didn't want him to use my car. Because I don't believe people who are drinking should be driving at all, period. I don't care how well they feel that they can do it. No, I'm not letting you use my car for that. So, long story short, I'm looking for my car. I'm calling his phone. He's not answering. I have to be at work soon, so I had to call my friend who also worked at the New York with me at that time so we can get to work together. So I had to hop a ride with him because the guy never showed back up. And this was like an hour of me calling him. I kept calling, I called my auntie. She ain't heard from him. His uncle ain't heard from him. I called to make a police report because at this point I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what's going on. I can't find him. He's not answering. And technically my car was stolen. Vegas Police Department told me because he was my family that I couldn't report the car stolen because it was family. And I'm down at the precinct with my auntie at this point. And even she's looking like baffled, like, why the fuck not? Like his car was stolen. He didn't give permission for him to take his car. So that was my first encounter with the Las Vegas Police Department where I felt they was a little unfair with how they, handled the situation. But what I then found out was my car was actually involved in an accident on Las Vegas Boulevard South, where he hit the back of an 18-wheeler and destroyed my car. And he was hauled off to jail because he was, of course, drunk. And yeah, that's a huge ticket and a fine. And to add insult to injury, being 18, you not knowing everything, I had took the insurance off of my car. Before I even, knew he had took off with my car, my insurance was already taken off because I was going to be getting a new insurance like a day later after when I got paid to add to my car. So when he had that accident, I had no insurance coverage, and he hit the back of an 18-wheeler. And I just missed money because I couldn't go to my big sale that I just made because I no longer had a car. So I had to refund money to customers because at the time I did not have a reserve. So most of my money spent was like as it was coming in, and it was going in and going out as fast as it was coming in. So I didn't have these reserves set up. So at that point, I had to go ahead and just close the doors on LV weekend service. But I enjoyed it while it lasted because that gave me insight and experience that I wouldn't have had if I didn't go out there on that leap of faith and just try. And it wouldn't have been a couple years later when I tried out JW Gifts for You. Check it out. That was a knickknack company that I had where if you all was familiar with SMC, so when 2008 happened, there was no such thing as SMC anymore because nobody was buying that stuff anymore, the little knickknacks for their house, because it wasn't a necessity at the time. So moving forward, the next business venture would have been Wells Janitorial. Now it's cracking the cup. Wells Janitorial has served me well. I ran that for 8 years. Got to experience a lot of good and a lot of bad. And a great thing about both is I learned a lot of lessons. So I really enjoyed, this whole business arena that I've been in thus far. But yeah, just whatever it is in life that you're trying to do, don't let the fear of anything hold you back. That's basically the point of this story. But back to this coffee. I can't wait till I get mine finished roasting. But this one is not that great. But if you go into our website, which is the one scrolling down there at that little screen right there, that is say crackedcoffee.com. We're going to be doing a couple of specials. I'm doing something with the iHeartRadio. So if you guys go to their website, you're going to be getting about $50 worth of product for about $25. But I'll give you the final details once we're finished hammering out those details. So that was the big thing that was going on this week for the Cup. If you've been paying attention to anything that Cracking the Cup has been doing and what's been going on, we did get invited down to the iHeartRadio studios, which is that picture that I had put up. And that was to discuss a marketing opportunity that iHeartRadio were doing for small businesses. And it was an opportunity to do a trade service type of deal. And in the interim, Cracking the Cup did not meet the criteria of what they were looking for because they were looking for brick and mortar buildings. But, as they were speaking to me and they got to learn more about Cracking the Cup and, where the direction of Cracking the Cup is headed, they wanted to be a part of that. So they decided to bring me down there to the studio this past week and have that discussion, and I did. So we'll be having another meeting next week to go over the details of what it is going to look like. So if all goes well, We'll have some radio advertisement done through iHeartRadio on a couple different channels here in Hawaii. As far as the national circuit, it's going to be like one or two of them that we're going to be a part of. And then, of course, we're going to be on their website under their deals for two for one Tuesdays. So yeah, that's a great opportunity that we have coming up, and I'm very glad that they were interested in cracking the cup. They are also interested in brewing for a reason. So if you guys also follow me, you also know that I am one of the founders of Brewing for a Reason, which is the nonprofit that I started to combat issues of homelessness, housing issues, or housing inequalities, and helping the homeless and diabetic community. That was the main focus. So it's always been housing, it's always been helping the homeless, and it's always been about the diabetics. And feeding the children just came to be a part of it, because that was another crucial part of everything that was going on at the time of creation. So Brewing for a Reason is still going, and we're doing some great stuff. I'm working on some projects, and I am looking to get funded. And that is why I always, post on my social media account for you guys to share whatever content that you can to help us spread the word, get the donations to come in, because we really are looking to move forward. One of the things that we are doing right now, we are looking to raise $50,000. This is a separate project from the other ones that you see, because there's another one on there for $300,000. That's a different program that we're running. That one we are still looking for donations, but we're looking for grants mostly for that one. But this new one is aligning with that particular goal. But this one is to get our first affordable housing unit. So what we're looking for is between 6 to 12 unit buildings to purchase. We've already found 3, and the price ranges from $350,000 all the way up to like $750K. So yeah, we're definitely going to be doing a lot of fundraising right now, because we want to get these affordable housing projects done. I'm starting in Chicago with the affordable housing project. It's a lot easier market to navigate and be a part of, and it's more affordable. So yeah, so we'll be posting some pictures of a couple of the properties that we are looking at, so that way you guys get a visual aid of what we're trying to do, and that way you can see where your dollars are going to be supported at. So my idea for the affordable housing unit that we're trying to create would be something similar to some of the things that you guys see when you see public housing. It's just not going to be $79 rent. Sorry. But it's affordable in the sense of, you're paying this flat rate each month, and we're looking to include the utilities such as your water, sewer, trash, and electricity. And we're thinking about adding cable or internet on there as a bonus plus, because those are things that are set fees that we can control a little bit more. Gas and electricity is a little more difficult, but we are going to work out how we're going to set that up. But that will all be included in your price point each month. The properties that we're also looking for needs to at least have some type of parking, whether it's street parking or a little mini lot in the back. So yeah, those are some of the properties that we're looking for, and that's what we're looking to do. And we're looking for the unit size is, we want 2 to 4 bedrooms. We would like to have 1 to 2 bathrooms, but we know in Chicago that's a little bit more trickier with our older structures. So 1 bathroom is probably going to be the norm for most of the units, so that's okay. But most of the units that we're looking for are going to be updated units, fresh painted, designer painted, not just white walls, because I don't like white walls. Especially if you have kids, you will know why we don't like white walls. And then basically, nicer, upgraded appliances. Nothing too over the top, because sometimes I do get a little over the top with my extravagant taste. But no, it's going to be our more sensible, durable type of appliances. Either the plated stainless steel or that It's that gray plastic, because I know it's plastic, because that's not stainless steel, but it looks like it's stainless steel. Yeah, something similar to that, just to give it that look and that appeal, and give it that cosmetic appeal that people are looking for. So we're definitely looking into doing our affordable living. We want to start with that first. And the reason we want to start with the affordable living is because we need to start generating more revenue for Brewing for a reason. And that's the easiest and quickest way to do so. So those funds from those properties are also going to be helping to fund a lot of the other projects. So some of the other projects that we do have going on or in the works will be our transitional housing. Transitional housing is helping those homeless people or homeless families come off the street and get them into a suitable living situation. That is not to be confused with a shelter. It's not going to be a shelter. They will be responsible for keeping up the upkeep of their space, and it's usually going to be a unit or an apartment unit. They will be required to contribute financially. If they do receive money from the government each month, 30% of their pay will be, used to pay for their room and board. But they would have their own private quarters. So it's not a shelter at all. It's more private. It's a transition to get them off the street. And we're also going to be bringing in some counselors to help with some of those out who needs it. We're also looking to bring in some businesses to partner with to help get them gainfully employed if they're not, because the ideal is to get them employable, to get them employed, and to get them ready to transition from our housing shelters or housing units to their own affordable units. And that's also where we can come into play, where we're already having affordable um, housing units. They could possibly, be a tenant for that as well. Or, they'll be able to make enough money that they can go in and get them the property that they seek. And then other than that, we're also still doing or still going to be doing the feeding the homeless for those who are, comfortable on the street, but they still need a hot plate. We're going to still be supplying the monthly food for them with, a nice hot plate that we've been doing already. And then a couple other initiatives that we're going to be working on is working with a couple of other smaller nonprofit organizations so that we can, do more and help out more people and maximize, the revenue that's coming in. But all of it starts with you guys is sharing our content and helping us make this thing a reality. You already have helped us last year. We generated almost $2,000 for Brewing for a Reason, which, considering I started that in like literally 1 month before the pandemic happened, I'm excited about it. So I'm not upset at all. Like 2000, and it was our first launch. I'm like, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. So that was exciting. So this year, we're definitely looking for you guys' support. We definitely need you guys to really help us reach that goal of 50K for the first housing unit. We need to make this goal. We would love to get this done within 6 months. We already found our first property. It's a really nice property, and it's going through a small realtor. It's a small woman realtor that we're looking to work with. She's been amazing. She's been very responsive, and she's been really helpful of us finding these properties. So we definitely are trying to move forward expeditiously as possible, but we can't move if we don't have any support. So we're looking for support from you guys, sharing the contact, chipping in where you can. And and if you're looking to chip in as an investor, please reach out to me and let me know. And we can put your name on one of the buildings. But yes, I want to thank you guys for tuning in this week with me. This was just a nice little casual conversation to have this morning. It's a nice rainy day out here right now, so I figured I'd get on here, have my sip of coffee with you this morning, and just shoot the breeze and give you some insight on what's going on, and to have you guys looking out for what's to come with Wells Editorial, Cracking the Cup, and Brewing for a Reason. So let me know if you can help out. Shoot me an email, shoot me a text, inbox me. We really would appreciate your help, especially for Brewing for a Reason right now. You can go to the website. It's brewingforareason.org. You can contribute on a monthly basis to help us fund the general fund, which that is the fund that we use to pay our staff and fund different projects that we're working on. And that would also have revenue going towards the getting the buildings that we need for the affordable housing. And then you never know. You may be one of the person who benefit from this affordable housing unit because we all don't know where we're all going to go because a lot of us are facing eviction right now. So you never know how this could help you out in your future or the unforeseeable future. So give when you can, share often as you can, and I appreciate it either way it goes. So y'all have a great and beautiful morning. It's about 7:50 in the morning out here, and I know it's later there for you. So y'all have a great morning into the afternoon, and I will chat with y'all later. Have a great one.